The United States and Iran are taking active steps toward a negotiated ceasefire. But at the exact same moment, a massive, deadly bombing campaign is leveling parts of Lebanon. To find common ground, delegations from Washington and Tehran are packing their bags for a high-stakes diplomatic summit in Islamabad, Pakistan. Yet hanging over these delicate negotiations is the presence of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. His sudden surge in military operations right as talks begin raises an immediate question. Is he actively trying to sabotage the ceasefire? To understand what happens next, we have to look past the official meetings in Pakistan. The real battleground deciding the fate of this treaty involves secret meetings and a fierce power struggle deep inside Washington, D.C. The American and Iranian teams are flying to Islamabad because they are running out of options. For the U.S. administration, the motivation is heavily domestic. They need to extract American troops from the region, and even more urgently, they need to stop the financial bleeding caused by volatile energy markets. This chart tracks the recent trajectory of global crude oil prices following the conflict's escalation. You can see a sharp upward trend, with costs recently spiking past $96 per barrel, a surge that directly threatens the U.S. economy. Iran is under a different kind of pressure. Facing consistent military onslaughts, leadership in Tehran desperately needs to stabilize the country, pause the violence, and return their citizens to normal economic life. The desperation is so high that while the U.S. president issues public threats to look strong, reports indicate his staff used back channels with the Pakistani military to quietly plead for a ceasefire. Both global superpowers are sitting at the table because they are heavily incentivized to avoid mutual economic ruin. If the Islamabad talks fail, both nations face severe consequences. But Israel has its own agenda. Right as the ceasefire progress became public, Israel countered with its deadliest, most concentrated single-day airstrikes on Lebanon, hitting hundreds of command centers in a matter of minutes. This strategy introduces an unspoken condition. By violently dragging Lebanon into the conflict, Israel is manufacturing chaos to make a clean, localized U.S.-Iran agreement impossible. It doesn't stop at Lebanon's borders. There are also allegations that Israel is pushing allied proxy states to strike Iranian oil facilities, a move clearly designed to provoke Tehran into an armed retaliation. These maneuvers are driven by a long-held ideological objective. For 40 years, Netanyahu has focused on one overarching goal: overthrowing the Iranian regime and permanently dismantling its nuclear capabilities. If the United States successfully negotiates a ceasefire, it inherently recognizes Iran as a legitimate state actor with negotiating power. To Israeli leadership, that recognition destroys decades of careful strategic planning. So the tactic is simple: generate so much regional collateral damage that the Iranian delegation feels entirely humiliated, forcing them to walk away from the table in Islamabad. This dynamic forces us to look squarely at Washington, D.C. Who is actually directing the actions of the U.S. military in the Middle East? A recent leak published by the New York Times shed light on a highly classified meeting from February 11th, and the details are causing an uproar. According to the report, Netanyahu was hidden in a black car and smuggled directly into the White House Situation Room, a secure complex usually strictly off-limits to foreign leaders. Inside, he personally tried to convince the U.S. president to authorize a joint strike on Iran. The revelation that a foreign prime minister was pitching war plans inside the Situation Room has sparked growing bipartisan outrage. Lawmakers are openly challenging Israel's heavy-handed influence on American foreign policy. The pushback is crossing party lines. Influential conservative media figures are now publicly demanding the U.S. sever its military aid to Israel immediately, warning that America is being blackmailed into an endless war. Skeptics now point to a hidden recording from 2001, where Netanyahu was caught on camera openly boasting to settlers about how easily he can manipulate the United States to move in the exact direction he wants. This internal power struggle shows that the White House may find it impossible to secure a regional ceasefire, while its closest partner pursues a different military outcome. The Islamabad summit has become a direct test of authority between the U.S. president and the Israeli prime minister. The U.S. administration is boxed in. They have to decide whether they will fulfill their domestic mandate to pull out of foreign wars or submit to the immense pressure to expand them. If the sabotage campaign succeeds and the delegations in Islamabad pack up and go home, the Middle East will almost certainly slide into an irreversible multi-front war. So do you think the U.S. can push past the pressure and secure a lasting ceasefire, or will Netanyahu's strategy collapse the deal? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and make sure to subscribe for more deep dives into global geopolitics.